3. Or 1, 2, and punch. So he punches, 1, 2, 3. Once I make contact at this point, this is when you can start getting creative. This is when you can add your throws, your other strikes, your chokes. All right, so let's do one this time. After the strike, we step in and we choke him till he taps. Okay, that would be one that we can do. So he punches, hit, shoot around, and choke. Okay? If we wanted to go the route of doing a throw, after the strike here, we can take his wrist and just bring him over. All right, so watch that one more time. He throws his punch, hit, wrist. I'm going to do it once in slow motion so we can catch those details. Wrist, elbow, hit. From here, I grab the wrist. I take a step forward. I grab my own hand and bring him down to the ground and look for a pin or another strike. All right, so one more time. Punch comes in, 1, 2, 3. Grab. Bring him down. Always squat down when you bring him down so you're not tipping forward off balance. And if possible, your knee goes on the ribs, keeping him down there. All right? Same idea now when he throws his punch. Actually, let's go from the other side. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take this arm and this foot, step in, and arm lock underneath. So we're going to go to a straight arm bar. So he punches, hit, arm bar, right from here. Okay, one more time, slow. Left, right, hit. Lock the wrist, step in, turn the pinky up, 2 hands, tilt back. Obviously, if I did it quick, it would pop his elbow. Okay? One last option that we have is the squeezing option, using pressure points to bring him down completely. So he throws his punch, grab the stomach 9 point in the corner next to the Adam's apple, and bring him down. Okay? Same technique can be used against a static attack. So if you can grab the gun, do-son. If your opponent's pointing a weapon at you and not moving it, and we're here, we use that same drill. Basically what we do is we knock the gun to one direction, and we step to the other. So we go one way, the gun goes the other. At the same time, as we hear, we lock onto the wrist, and what do? We finish the drill. Hit, bring him down. The only difference is here, we would take the gun away, of course. All right? So watch one more time. All right, as he points the gun, left, move out of the way. Left, right, hit, bring him down, and take the gun away. That's our straight punch drill. The next technique, the next drill we're going to cover is the low thrusting drill. The low thrusting drill has 2 main applications. One is knife defense, if somebody comes in low to the stomach, and the other is defending against a front kick. The drill will cover both. The way we're going to do this drill is we're going to face each other, and we're going to aim for the belt, or the waistline if you don't have a belt. I'm going to step like I want to hit him. As I do that, he's going to use his forearms and just turn. So this is another situation of where the body moves one way and the arm moves the other. If you just stand relaxed and start turning your body, your arms do this anyway. So it's a natural movement. All we're doing is adding a little pop to it. And we're using the back of the arm to defend. Okay, so when I thrust into him, he defends. If you notice, the hand is about a foot away from him. I come back and I use the other side, and he defends. Now he comes towards me. I defend, I defend. This is the basic format of the drill. We go back and forth, 1, 2. Now, this drill will not work if he stops in front of me. Stop short. It just doesn't work. This has to be realistic. Go right through me. It works so much better if he's really trying to get me. The other side, it works so much better. Okay, now I try to get him. All right, so you got to be real intensity. Really try to get your opponent. After the first slow one, make sure you follow through. Don't step and do this. He doesn't even have to defend against that. Now, once we get that position, we need a follow-up. Come on that side first. Once I defend, I immediately grab the wrist. As I step in, I hammer the ribs, again, at the liver 13 point where the elbow touches the body in the front, or I could come to the groin area. Okay, so as he comes forward again, he thrusts nice and quick. I defend, and I grab. Now right now we're doing it slow. Come a little bit faster. When he comes in, it's almost one move. It's still going to be 1, 2, but it's going to look like 1. And if done quick, this will pop his elbow, so just be careful. Once I get this move, I lock the wrist, and to generate power, I step into him. As I step in, I make a fist, and I strike either the rib or the groin area. Once I make that hit, if you notice his head came down, he's perfectly set up for a throw and a follow-up. All right, so let's try that one more time, nice and slow. Come with the left hand. He comes in quick, defend, grab. If you know them, the wrist points, heart 5, lung 8, you can lock them just to give you a better grip, give him a little bit of pain. Step in, strike to the rib, which will bring his head down. Put your head back up. If his head is up, I can't get that angle. Head down, reach up, grab his neck. Once I'm here, I take a small step backwards, and I press both hands down, leaving him in a position for me to strike him or continuously follow up. All right, one more time. Let's turn this way. Same left hand. Same technique from the opposite side. He thrusts, defend, wrist, hit, reach around, grab. So I have the arm locked in the neck, step back, bring him over, always squatting down. All right, let's come back up. Okay, a couple other options that you have when he thrusts. Once you're here and you lock it, if you step in, all I have to do is bow to him, and I lock his elbow. All right, nothing fancy about it. His elbow is here, my body's here. When I lean forward, it puts pressure on his elbow joint. All right, so watch one more time. He thrusts, 1, and press. I could either do it before the strike, or I can hit and then press against him. I can still continue with the hand, or if I'm a little more advanced, I could put my foot and flip him around that way. All right, so let's watch that one more time. Move over a little bit. All right, so he thrusts, defend, strike, bring him down. Put my hand on top so he doesn't come up, put my foot over, and just push on his neck. And of course, if I was fighting with him, we'd be squatting down, trying to generate power for our follow-up shot. Okay? Now, this is a punching motion. If he had a knife, it would be the same thing, except I'd have to be a little more careful. So as he thrust it in, defend, hit. If I was to throw him, I would have to maintain control of the knife and look to take the weapon away. All right, so when there's a weapon, it does come back up. It doesn't change how you defend. You just have to keep in mind that he has the weapon, not to get cut with it, and to take it away as soon as possible. You have to control that weapon hand. That's the only difference. The actual drill, the takedown, the finish is the same. All right, so one more time. All right, so he thrusts in, 1, 2. If I want to do the other one, bring him down, leg, control the knife. To take it away, I bend his wrist and just take the knife out of his hand. Okay, up. Third application for this is a front kick. Front kicks usually come to the groin area or the waistline. So if I come in this way and his hands are down, it's going to be hard for him to defend it. Thrust forward as he comes in, it's the exact same defense. I turn and I bump with the back of my hand. Of course, the follow-up will be different now. So come with the other side. I defend, come under his nose, take him down. Okay? For the drill purposes, I let him do right and left. So he goes right, I defend, he goes back, left, I defend. And then I would come to him, right, we go back, I try to thrust into him, left. All right, he comes back to me, 1, we go back, 2, I add the follow-up under his nose, and bring him down. Okay? This is very good in a situation where you're not always in a fighting stance. Your hands are down, somebody gets close, they go for the kick. Turn, use those hands. Okay, when he kicks us, a lot of times when we defend, we could also defend with the leg. Meaning that he comes in with his kick, we defend, stay, right? Immediately as he lands, we could come up with our own kick. All right, so watch that one more time. We're using the same drill. He comes in for the waist, defend it, shoot the kick straight up the middle. Because as he lands, at that instant, he won't be able to defend. All right, so come in, one side, other side, defend, boom. I'm putting my hand on his shoulder for balance. This way I don't lose my balance as I'm kicking, and I can maintain control of him. If I'm touching him, I can feel when he's about to move. So he comes forward, 1, I control him, and I kick. If he started to turn, I would feel it, and I would hit him. If he turned, maybe he'd be moving his legs and he wouldn't be in that position. So anytime you could touch your opponent, it's good because it gives you sensitivity to what he's about to do. One more on the other side. Defend and kick, coming up the middle. All right? This is our thrusting drill. The next directional drill we're going to use is downward motion. So far we've come straight, we've circled, we've come in low with a thrusting, now we're going to come down. For practice purposes, we use an open hand and we come down on our partner's head. In reality, this attack will be mostly used with a stick, and when we do applications, most of them will be stick-based. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is face each other. We want a distance where I can hit him right on his head. When he comes down to me, I step out with that front stance, and I slap it down really, really slow. I make contact, and I direct his hand towards him. If he was holding a stick or a weapon, he would have just struck himself. We go back, he does the other side. I step out. We go back, I come to him. He steps, back and forth. He goes, 1, 2. I go, 1, 2. All right, nice and smooth. He goes, 1, 2. Good. Now, there's 2 follow-up shots that we can use here. When he comes down, I can use the palm strike to the temple area, just behind and above the eye, or I could use the edge of my hand to the gallbladder 20 point, just behind the head. So it's going to look something like this. Down and chop or palm. Then he does the other side, down and either chop or palm. Then he goes. Keep in mind that if you do the drill properly, come straight down. No, right side first. You're avoiding the motion. The hand is there for control. So you don't want to stand in front of him and try to push the hand away. When he comes in, you step out and control. Then you hit immediately. Okay? Now, simple throw that we can do from here. After we hit, we grab his neck, we lift his arm, and release him. And let's try one more time. Same side. Bring him down, hit, grab his neck, and put his arm over his head. All right, basic mechanics of it. We want his head going down and his arm going up. If I just pushed on his arm, that would make his head go down. Obviously, if I push his head, it makes his head go down. When I do it together, it forces him to roll over to save from smashing his head into the ground. So now when he comes down, 1 and over, and then we do the same thing on the other side. We bring it down and over. And we would continue that way. If we don't want to finish that way, we can finish with strikes. We hit him once, we could hit him with a second shot right between the shoulder blades, right on the spine, this way. All right? So he comes down, 1, 2, 3. If we wanted to finish him, we could finish him with the knee coming up. All right? We do it on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Finish him with the knee. All right? One more on the other side, slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming up. Or we can leave out the elbow altogether. Hit him and bring the knee up into his ribs this time to the liver point on the side of the waist. So as he's here, shoot the knee up and back. All right, one more with that one. 1, 2. Once we do that, we now have him in a lock. From here, I can twist his shoulder or just step to bring him down. So we have a lot of options. Now, there's going to be a slight difference when we use a weapon. The difference is distance. Slow. If he comes with the stick, this is where he's here. Take away. If he comes with his hand, move closer, open hand. This is where he is. I have to make up that distance. So when he comes down, I need to step in a little bit more. Ideally, I'll take this hand and hit. After I strike him, I'll take the stick away just by stepping on it. All right, let's try that one more time. All right, I make up the distance, I bring him down. I hit him immediately. Now, the difference between a weapon and not a weapon is I have to deal with it, so I disarm him, and then I could continue with the throw that we did before. All right, let's watch one more time. He swings down, 1, strike him. Immediately disarm him, and throw him the same way we did before. That's our downward strike drill.